cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Today I want to tell a story. You know, Gunner has the Superwood series, right? And I was telling him a story about this wood that was in Pelican Bay with me, man. This dude was hilarious. And I'm gonna actually say his name, man. His name is Donny. Donny from Orange County. Shout out to Donny if you see this, man. And I'm gonna go ahead and just share a few stories of Donny, interactions with Donny. I don't have much, so this is gonna be it. This is a one and done with Donny, man. So I'm gonna start with, I told a story the other day about the very first hunger strikes in Pelican Bay. The one that everybody forgot about, but that actually planted the seed in people's head. And as I said in that video, we were told we're gonna go 5 days. And after 5 days, they'll let us know if we're going to go another 10 days or if it was 15 days. I'm pretty sure it was 10, right? For a total of 15 to kick it off. And as I said, not all of the blocks were able to find out at the same time. And so by the time it got to us, we found out the day before. Luckily for me and my celly, I had a few bags, brown paper bags, regular lunch bags. When you buy chips at Canteen, they'll dump them in there and then they get stale. However, the light in Pelican Bay, anybody that's been there will tell you, that's your oven. Put them in the little cookie bags that they give us in our lunch. It's wax paper bags. Set them up on that light for about an hour. It cooks them. It brings them back. We would put our sandwiches up there, melt the cheese, toast the bread. It's a trip. That was our oven. Well, I had like 2 bags of those chips, right? I had like 4 bags of apples. My Sally and I did. And then I actually had, so every now and then you get a scoop of peanut butter. And it comes in a little tiny paper cup, right? And they'll put it on your tray for breakfast or whatever. And I would save them. So when I wanted to make G-bar, right? Which is another thing we make in order to have something to eat. So I had like 4 little scoops of peanut butter. So my Sally and I were pretty much, we're going to make it through the 5 days with between the apples and the chips. I ain't sharing my peanut butter, big dog. You should have shared. You should have saved yours. Well, we're about 3 days in. Now, 3 days in on a hunger strike, you start getting really tired. And even though we had that little bit of food, we didn't know how long we were going to have to strike for. So we were barely eating the minimum, right? And so by day 3, we were very tired. Your body, you kind of stop being hungry at that point. And I think that's when your body just starts doing whatever it does to survive, right? Well, Donny was our neighbor, right? And he's like, hey, bro, we got in the van. He's like, hey, bro, man, I'm sorry to ask you, but do you guys have anything to eat? And I said, well, hey, we got some apples we could give you. We'll break them, we'll smash them, so that we'll break them in half so they can fit under the door. The door in Pelican Bay is about this high off the ground. So, it's not like a lot of the other spots that are like this high off the ground. And, so he's like, yeah, I'll take them. I just anything. I just need something to eat. I'm doing bad. So Donny used to talk a lot, right? Always bullshitting on the tier. We shoot him the apples. And man, like an hour goes by. And I was telling my Sally, I said, man, I wonder if he ate real quick and just fell asleep, man, because he's not making no noise over there. And so I said, hey, Donny, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, the voice I'm using right now, this tone, this volume, the pod next to us would be able to hear. It's that quiet in the bay, right? So I'm like, hey, Donny. He said, what's up? I said, what you doing? He said, well, for about the past hour, I've been gumming the fuck out of these apples. I forgot Donnie only had like 4 teeth in his mouth. So the whole pod starts laughing. And he goes, man, I've been gumming these motherfuckers like it's a baby toy. Oh my God. And if you saw Donnie was tall, skinny, kind of goofy looking. My bad, Donnie, but yeah, so Donnie was gumming the apples to death. He said he was trying to figure out how he was going to get them down. And I was like, fuck, Holmes, chop them up with your spoon and just like cut them into. Anyways, man, Donnie was hilarious. So then, here's another one. We'll go with this other one. Donnie tells us one day about an incident he got into, right? So he was doing bad. You know, he was out there slamming and, you know, running amok. And he got an idea to go rob. I don't remember what kind of store it was, but he went in to rob a store, right? And he's like, hey, give me the money. And the guy behind the counter was like, man, get out of here. And he's like, the fuck you mean get out of here, man? Give me the money. I'm here to rob you. And the guy's like, come on, just get out of here. Stop this shit. Just get out of here. So Donnie pulls his gun out, right? And he's like, hey, man, give me the fucking money. And the guy started laughing at him. And Donnie tells me, bro, all I had was a Derringer, a one-shot Derringer, right? So the fucking clerk is telling him, look, man, I'm going to call the cops if you don't get the fuck out of here. And Donnie's like, man, I'm telling you, give me the money right now. The dude, it calls the cops in front of Donnie. Donnie's holding a one-shot Derringer at this dude, pointing it at this dude's face, and the dude's laughing at him. Donnie hears the cops coming. And then he said he got outside and he got in a shootout with the cops. I said, Donnie, how do you get in a shootout with one bullet? Hey, Donnie goes, hey, Holmes, he goes, look, he goes, you know, like he goes, you know how when you see on TV and shit, the cops fucking getting shootouts? He goes, I never believed they're really going to shoot it out with you. You know, he goes, so when I came out, he goes, they drew down on me. He goes, and I fucking like popped at him with my gun, like, pow, like, get off me, pow. He said, man, that car I was behind, they lit that car up so bad. He goes, and all I could do after, he goes, I fucking just threw my gun at him. Donnie was the greatest. Finally, one of the last stories that I remember, because I only remember that last story and then this one were the ones I remember the most. And then the one of him gumming the apple was crazy. But I remember asking Donnie one day, and this isn't something, you know, you always ask in there, but we're in there bullshitting like, hey, Donnie, how much time you doing, Holmes? And, oh, I'm doing whatever. I don't remember how much time he was doing. But he's like, I'm doing this and this and that. And I was, well, Sadio, what'd you get busted for? And he was like, look, bro, let me ask you, he goes, let me tell you my story. And you tell me who's the victim in this case. And we're like, oh, fuck, here we go. Because it's Donnie, right? So he says, again, him and his homeboy are doing bad, right? And they're both Malias. Well, his homeboy was messing with this chick. And her old man was a dope dealer, right? So she calls him and she's like, hey, she says her old man is out of town and why don't he stop by? And he's like, oh, well, I got some things I got to do, but if I can, I'll call you, right? Whatever. Okay, let me know. So he hangs up and he tells Donnie, oh man, she wants me to stop by. Her old man's fucking out of town. And Donnie's like, if her old man's out of town, who's guarding the dope? Let's go over there and just rob her. And he's like, fuck it, let's do this. So they take off. They go to the Connect. They know the Connect's not in town. He's fucking the brat. They're masked up, right? They kick the door in, bam! They go in. Well, apparently, Donny's friend was not the only Sancho she had. Because when they kicked the door in, the other Sancho was there. So, Donny has to do all the talking, right? Because the chick will recognize her Sancho's voice. So, you know, they're at gunpoint. Donny probably still has his trusty Derringer. Probably another time with a Derringer. We didn't ask him what kind of gun he had. But Donny ties up Sancho and tells Sancho, listen, as long as you just stay put, you're going to be all right. All we want is the dope. This ain't your pad, Holmes. Just relax. And we'll be out of here in a minute. They get the broad and they tell the broad, show us where the dope is. So they go into another room. When they go into the other room, they're trying to gather the stuff up. You know, the broad's trying to, that's all he has. And there's more stuff. And they hear some noise. And Donny's like, what the fuck is that? He goes into the other room and Sancho untied himself and tried to put up a fight. And Donny had to shoot him. And Donny said, who's the victim? Donny's felt like he gave clear and direct orders. Don't move. You don't get hurt. And what did the guy do? He broke the fucking rules. And he had to get shot. The story of Donny. Donny from Orange County. I wish I could remember more of his stories, man. That dude was so damn funny. And then, hey, there was a point, too, where me and Donny got into it. Like, we seriously, like... But shout out to Donny, man. Hopefully you're doing all right, man. Hopefully you're on the streets. You don't carry Derringers anymore. And you don't give instructions to people when you are committing unlawful acts. Hopefully you're not committing any unlawful acts. That's my story for today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.